What if I told you that DNA holds an astrological blueprint, an as above, so below type of reflection that's encoded within your cells? Class is in session. So today I am going to talk about the four what, the four everything, these four pillars, these four elements, these four stages of consciousness. Okay, so we're going to start off I decided to do visuals. So we're going to start off with the lowest one being Earth. So Earth is the lowest as far as consciousness goes, where we begin to look at nature, where we begin to kind of figure out who we are. It is our body, it is beta consciousness, it is solid, it is carbon, it is our physical nature. This is our earthly realm. Then we move on to alpha. Alpha is water. This is liquid. This is hydrogen. This is our emotions that are flowing within us. These are groups. We often hear that it is a collective group emotion. So we're looking at alpha, which is the next state. This is a meditative state. This is a one where we're starting to go inward. We're starting to move up the realms towards back to the light, back to spirit, back to everything, where we came from. We dropped down, now we're going back up. So after alpha, we go to theta. Theta is air. This is more of the new age concept. It's a new thought. It's air. It's a new way of thinking. We have technology now because this new introduction into the age of Aquarius. We were in the Pisces age in water, and now, which is all belief systems and religions and stuff like that, to now the new thought, new way of thinking, technology at our fingertips. Every information possible is out there. Okay. So theta is now a higher consciousness, but also a higher frequency and a higher way of thinking. These are all just tools and they're all mixed and matched, but we have theta, it's basically gas, oxygen. This is the mind. Again, these are our thoughts. When you're in meditation and you reach theta consciousness, you've basically gotten to that point where you're not really having thoughts anymore. Because, in the beginning, it's all thoughts. It's like your brain is dumping all the information possible, as if I always say this, as if you have left all these open apps and now you sat there and looking through them. You're like, wow, these are still open. These are still open. And you're processing all of this until you reach the point where you have cleared them all out. You have cleared your mind. You have no thought. Okay. Then we move on to Delta. Delta is fire. So this is plasma. This is nitrogen. This is spirit. This is the soul, the fire, that passion that ignites us when we have some intuitive thought or where we feel passionate about sometimes, or sometimes what makes us take action is this fiery, bold, um, go-getter type of energy, and that is the fire. I'm also going to say that, and then there's the ether, the all, the everything, which encompasses all of them. These right here I put negative because they are the female version. Earth and water are female, and then these two up here, air and fire, are positive, which are male. So you have male and female, you have electric and magnetic, you have electromagnetic. This one has both male and female. So we start seeing how they all connect. The point of this is just to show you how everything connects, how we connect with everything. It's interesting too, because in the Bible, everything is written symbolically so that you can understand some deeper layers. Once you understand that earth, water, air, and fire are written in a certain way for you to understand that the higher you go up in consciousness, the closer you are to ascending. So basically, all these stories are, they're earth, they're of the ground, and then they are, let's just say Moses. Um, the name Moses means drawn out of the water, right? So he's coming out of the water. He meets the seven daughters, which are the seven chakras, in the well, which are your waters, your emotionals, and he begins the process of taking trying to take no thought, of reaching theta. And then finally he goes up and he sees the burning bush, the fire, and has a renewal of the mind. Okay. The same thing you can say with the story of Noah and the ark, and how the whole thing has to do with water and the positives and the negatives, female and the male aspects of you, all the creepy thoughts and the creepy crawling thoughts that you've had, and then the stuff um that comes from basically everything, right? This is all talking about us, and then how he meditates or goes within himself and then finally sends out a dove, and this dove is finally reaching air. He finally reaches air and he has a whole renewal. The same thing happens with Jonah in the Jonah and the whale, with in the Bible, which is basically talking about he's in the water, he's in this alpha state. The more you do it, the longer you do it, the more you do it, you ascend, and then you finally reach that Christ consciousness. Okay. All these stories, same thing. I will baptize you with water, but one greater than me will baptize you with fire. It's all talking about the process of our consciousness and how much we can understand and take in. So, another thing that's really cool, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they are air, fire, earth, and water. It is the same story, just in different perspectives, with the symbology and the energy of these elements behind it. You could say the same thing for spring, summer, fall, and winter. We have the middle of spring being earth, the middle of summer being fire, the middle of fall being water, and the middle of winter being air. Now, if you looked at the correlation in the Bible of the four fixed corners, or the four faces of God, per se, it would be the bull, Taurus, Leo, the lion, and then we have the eagle, which is Scorpio, and we have the man, which is Aquarius. I don't even know where I'm pointing right there. So I put dark and light so you could see the difference as far as female versus, it's the law of gender. So they have just certain aspects. And so we go even further and you have north, south, east, and west, right? The intellect, we have the spirit, we have the body, and we have the emotions. So then we have those our fourfold nature. Fourfold nature. Try saying that 4 times. The same thing with the 4 horses of the apocalypse. It's not that fire's going to come in a destructive way, but in a renewal type of way, in a burning of the old and a restoring of the new. So we have those 4 aspects of ourselves. Now, here's the interesting part. What if I told you that DNA holds an astrological blueprint, an as above, so below type of reflection that's encoded within your cells, right? So if we look right here, I don't know if you can see down here. Um, the 4 main DNA bases are adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, which is the sine wave, which is what all of this is a sine wave. And a sine wave is just basically 12 different energies. It's the vibration of light. We are light. We are separated into the light spectrum, the 7, which is in our light body. So if we start looking at adenine, God, I need to know how to say this. Adenine goes with Aries, thymine goes with Taurus, guanine with Gemini, and cytosine with Cancer. The same thing with our 4 ages, the 4 yugas, these ages that we're talking about, which are they come every so often because we live within a certain energy for 2000 years, but then we live within that certain, for example, the Iron Age, the bronze, the silver, the gold. We are still in the transition between the iron and the bronze. It's that transition that's like, if you're going from darkness to light, you're in the middle of the gray that separates the two. And you can't really differentiate where it starts or where it begins. That's why a lot of people say that, oh, we're there already, or, we've gotten to this next age. But we're in that transitional stage from Pisces to Aquarius, and that has to do with the Iron Age and the Bronze Age. It just correlates. So, as you can see, we have a lot of stuff. We have the cycles. It's all cyclical. We have the cycles in our lives, spring, summer, fall, and winter. Check out my book, Spring Manifestation. It's just the first one out of four. The four is the series is called why am I blanking out right now? I'm laughing because it's so funny to me how this all correlates and how this all comes together. And it's not like I thought about this when I first started this series. It's called, what is this? The seasons in our lives. Oh my God. So Spring Manifestation is the first one, where I introduce everything, not even knowing I was going to start writing a series. Then Summer Love is the second one, which goes deeper into my love life. All of these are nonfiction. They're based on true life stories where I basically talk about the astrological influences and the elements, etc., and how they have so much to do with our everyday life. And so I show you that throughout my book, how it relates in relationships and all of that, the trials and errors. Then we go deeper into the thoughts and the minds and just how everything connects. So there's Mindfall, and then as you can see, it all has to do with seasons. And right now, I'm writing Healing Winter, which is the winter in my life, and that has been the toughest, I think, the toughest one to write that I'm so eager to finish writing because healing is hard. And I understand why people don't want to go through it, but it is so necessary in order to transmute, in order to move on to the next level. So I leave all of you with, what element do you feel like you are still needing more of in your life? What element are you in today? Because here's the thing, we go up and down and all around and we jump around from one to the other. But today, what is most important? What are you lacking today? Do you need more water? Do you need more emotions? Do you need to move it through? Do you need to um, sit down and be quiet and be still and meditate and raise your consciousness from beta to alpha? There's so many things that you can do, but right now, what is most important for you? Okay. So I leave you with that, and I hope that you take something from this. We have tons more information in the Escape Within Academy. So if you're interested, please let us know, do a discovery call, and we will let you know what classes are in there and all the juicy stuff that we have. All right. Peace, guys.